Okay, YouTube is going. Let's see what else is going here. Alright, YouTube is good. Facebook looks like it's going. Instagram. Okay, Instagram looks like it's going. Let me just switch really quick to the native places here. And okay, that one's live. That one's live. Okay. Alright, we are live. Let me just turn my Disney music down a little bit here. Because as much as I like it, I don't want to have to yell over Mickey and Minnie. That's just wrong. Okay, get my mic in the right spot here. Okay. Alright, so we are yet again. Oh, hold on, give me 1 second. I think I forgot to do something. Not me, not today. Bear with me just a second. Okay, let me just send my notes for my live to myself so I can get to them from my phone. I knew I was forgetting something. That one doesn't look like it has anything on it. Alright, you know what? I'll just do it this way. Okay, sorry. Alright, now, oh, my jacket's all messed up. I'm having just a day. It's okay. It's a great day, though. Even though it's a little wonky, a little weird, it's a great day. Let me get my notes open, because I want to talk to you about the Merry Menage in Animal Kingdom. Okay. So, it's a magical daytime experience in Animal Kingdom, and it brings Discovery Island to life with artisan crafted animal puppets. Carefully designed by Disney Live Entertainment, these life-sized Arctic creations, polar bears, reindeer, foxes, penguins, and more, are brought to life through skilled puppeteers who make them walk, blink, and even soar above each guest. What makes the Merry Menage special is how up close and personal it is. Guests aren't just observers, they really can interact with these puppets. Said Chris, and Chris I, Disney Live Entertainment's puppetry director. I was gonna butcher his last name, so we're just gonna shorten it. When someone reaches out to pet a polar bear, even though you can see the puppeteer right there, the puppet still feels alive in that moment. Creating the believable interaction is a testament not only to the skill of our performers, but to the power of puppetry. Okay, and here's a little more. And I did actually see these guys up close. It was the year I became a travel agent. I wasn't a travel agent yet. I took a trip. You may know this if you followed me for a while. I took a trip about 2 weeks before I became a travel agent. I was in Disney in early November for a week. It was my trip because I did a 1-year master's program. And I had finished my master's program in May, and I wanted to wait till November and go for my birthday. So it was my belated graduation present. And my aunt and I spent a week in Disney. We did a day in Universal. It was one of the best trips I've ever had. I love my trips with my son, but there's something different about going with my aunt. It's just different. Different people do that. They just give you a whole different feel for the trip. And she is an animal lover. So we spent a lot of time in Animal Kingdom that trip. And we were walking. I think we were getting ready. It was early afternoon. I think we were getting ready to go back to the hotel and hang for a while. And we ran into this in-person live on our way out of the park. And we got to see the polar bear puppets. And I did not realize, we must have caught the tail end of it, because I did not realize just how much was involved with it until later. So let me tell you about it so you know, in case you go this year, in case you go next year. Guests can interact with these wintry friends for unforgettable moments you can only find at Animal Kingdom. Take a selfie with a reindeer, give a polar bear a gentle chin scratch, greet a playful penguin waddling around, say hello to a friendly fox, watch a baby seal dance and play, wave to a pair of seagulls. Adding to this charming scene, skilled musicians Like violinist and steel pan performers play festive tunes that sweep soundly alongside the puppet interactions. And I didn't do it that year, but one of the years I was there with my son, I got the penguin from the Menagerie. You can see, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick up his detail. That does it, sort of. But you can see he's got embroidery on his arm, both arms. He's got Animal Kingdom on his foot. He's got dirty feet. How'd you get dirty feet? All you do is sit on the bookcase. His white's nice and white, but that foot looks dirty. Um, and he is a puppet. So, he's, as you can tell, you probably can't tell that he's very soft. Oh, he's got detail around his eyes. I knew he had detail somewhere else. He's got the same detail around his eyes that he has in his arms, and everything is stitched. He doesn't have glass eyes, he's got stitched eyes. So if you're looking for something that's kid safe, he's all stitched. He doesn't have anything that might pull off or come loose or anything. And you can usually get him and his plush pals. Wait a minute, you're out of camera there. There you go, dude. Okay, sorry, he's new at this. Um, you can usually get him in the shops, right at the front of the park. Usually the one, Discovery Mercantile, I think it is. It's right there by where they do the show. And then also usually the bigger one on your way out of the park will also have him. And there is, the year I got the penguin, there was also a polar bear. But I think they may rotate them from year to year. And I think the seal may be a newer edition, so you might be able to get a seal this year. Don't quote me on that. I haven't been in Animal Kingdom shops. I'm not sure. But I don't remember the seal from other years. So I think he's a relatively recent addition, and it seems like they would make him in a plush if he was a relatively recent new addition. Um, okay, now go over there and sit and don't distract me anymore. What do you mean you don't want to go over there? All right, fine, sit here. Okay. Oh, you just want to be on camera. All right. Some penguins. Let's see if you'll sit on my shoulder. All right, we're going to let him sit on my shoulder. We have a closing date for Rock and Roller Coaster. That's my other big piece of news. Um, and then I'm just going to kind of talk about some of the great Christmas stuff, and just in case you're going or in case you want to go next year. Okay, to make way for Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets, opening in summer 2026. Yes, you heard that right, summer 2026. Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith will close on March 2nd. The last day of operations is March 1st. So for some of you that really, really, it's your favorite ride, which I get, it is really cool. The first time I ever rode it, I got to sit in the front, which I thought was going to be very scary because, sometimes the front and the back of the coaster, while they're the best spots, they're not the best spots for newbies. But it was cool because I could see what was going to happen just before it happened. So my brain had that moment to process it. And I'll be totally honest with you. I don't like loops particularly. I don't mind them. I'm perfectly happy without them. So it was cool for me because I could see the loop coming. And the woman I was riding next to had ridden it a couple times, so she was like an old, I don't know that she was an old pro, but she was totally comfortable, so that was also good. Um, and I do like it's really cool. I'm very curious to see what they do with it when they turn it into Muppets. I know the music will probably change to Muppet music. I think there might be a Rainbow Studebaker somewhere along the route. But I'm curious to see how the story and some of the other stuff changes and how it evolves. So we'll just have to see. Um, but if you want to go before March so that you can ride it again, let me know. I am happy to book your trip. Um, my agency is having a really, really good year, and we have a number we're trying to meet, and we are um, getting very close to that number for the end of the year. So if I can book anything for you, a a spring break trip, a girls or guys trip in January or February, and I'm sick of winter, I just want to get out of here trip in January or February, let me know. Doesn't have to be Disney World. We could do a Disney cruise. We could do Disneyland. We could do Disneyland Paris. You could explore a new city somewhere warm, like, oh, I don't know, a couple in California, like San Diego. Um, if you want to go skiing, if you like winter, I would be happy to help you plan a trip to Denver or the Denver metro area where you can ski for the holidays. That was one of the coolest things I ever saw at the airport. When we landed at the airport in Denver, we were in baggage claim. And the whole wall behind us, it was like the whole wall behind us, and then it wrapped around. And it was all just tall, square boxes for skis. Um, I have not seen that since, although I don't get to that many airports. Honestly, I tend to fly in and out of Orlando or in and out of California for Disney destinations. But it was really cool to see. So if you want to ski, maybe Aspen, um, let me know. We'll put something together. Um, if you have, depending on what you want to do, I can book directly with some of the chains like Hilton and Marriott and stuff. I've done it for other clients. I had clients that went to California last summer, and she was part of Hilton, and we put her Hilton number in, and she got points on her stay. Um, if you've watched me in the last couple of weeks, that I just helped an 80 a mom in her 80s and her adult children and their spouses spend time in Disney World for Thanksgiving. She got to meet, I think the highlight of her trip was meeting Chewbacca in Hollywood Studios. They have and they of course got Photo Pass because with a group that big, I'm like, just get Photo Pass. You're never going to get everybody in the shot with with a group that size if you don't, because it was six kids and mom, so a group of seven is rather tough to do. So they got photo pass. They got pictures with Chewbacca. She had an excellent time. I got a daily update every day of all the cool stuff they'd done. And like the first night they were there, she was like, "I can't believe we're here." All they did was like go to the nice. They had a nice dinner at the resort. They walked around, and you can see like around the pool. You can see some of the flamingos and stuff sometimes. So they just like toured the resort. Um, and it was awesome. And then they went to the parks the next day, and it was like she couldn't believe it was going to get any better, but it did. And I love sharing that with clients, making that happen. Um, it was awesome. It was like she wants to do this. How do we make it happen? And we checked all the boxes for her, and they had an absolutely fabulous adventure. So that's really why I do this, and that's really what I love about it is making that happen. I remember we took my son the first time when he was almost 5 because he turned 5 in December, and we went in November. He was like 6 weeks from his 5th birthday, and he just everything. It was like everything just lit him up. And then we've gone over the years, and it's been really cool to watch him grow up with it and be able to experience things. Like when we first started going, when he was 4, 4, 5, 6, he wasn't tall enough for certain things. So it was really cool to watch him finally get tall enough to ride some of them. And then, of course, as an adult, he sees things differently. He'll be 20 in a couple weeks. So it's been interesting to watch him change, but still really, really enjoy the magic and really be able to immerse himself in it and love it. He did a exchange program in over the summer. He's doing a semester abroad next year. So it's definitely made a traveler out of him. But I think he will always have a soft spot for Disney. And oddly enough, Thanksgiving weekend, one of his friends was in Epcot, and he's like, just having the conversation, and my son's like, "Oh, you're in this pavilion," and the guy's like, "How in the world do you know that?" And he's like, "We spend a lot of time in Disney." Um, and Epcot, to be fair, I think has always been my son's favorite park. I'm a castle girly. I have to see the castle on every trip. It's just always been magical for me. From my first trip when I was in my 20s, to the trip I took last year, to the trip I will take again this month. I'm just a castle girl. Not that, I like all castles. I like the one in Disneyland. I like the one in Disney World. I like the one in Universal. But I'm a castle girl, so I always have to see the castle. which I will be doing when I go this year. No worries. But these castles are a nice bridge to Universal, which also has a bunch of holiday magic. You know, Disney's got gingerbread around the resort and the holiday themed light shows and the cookie stroll in Epcot. And of course, there's Olaf's scavenger hunt. There's these guys in Animal Kingdom. You know, there's lots of Mickey and Minnie in Magic Kingdom, along with Tiana and Belle, and some of the other Pooh is there. There's a ton of characters in Christmas Magic in Magic Kingdom. I love Main Street. I love Gertie in Hollywood Studios and her Christmas ball and the way they put the balls around her in the lake. Um, and I like You know, they do Star Wars at Christmas too, which I also think is really cool. Um, so there's Christmas everywhere in Disney. I also love the fact that it carries over into the resorts. Not only is it like on the main level where people that aren't staying there might go in and out for the restaurants or whatever, but it's also, you know, there are trees by the elevators at Animal Kingdom Lodge. You know, there's everything is lit up at Saratoga Springs, and the horse and the jockey out by the road when you take the bus in and out. You know, there's a reef and they've got them lit for the season. Truthfully, they're probably always lit, but I'm always amazed at just how much extra Disney does at Christmas. But Universal is doing Epic is decorated for Christmas for the first time. Don't forget they have the Yule Ball, and they have the Hogwarts projection show for Christmas. And of course, we have the Grinch. Who could It wouldn't be Christmas without the Grinch. And we have Earl the Squirrel and the Minions. I hear the Minions are wreaking their own kind of holiday havoc, because you know they do that. Hello. Um, my mother has a Minion Christmas ornament, and it talks. It actually does a Minion version of Jingle Bells. So we've been playing that around, listening to that a lot. And of course, if you don't want to do a theme park, there's plenty of other cool stuff to do. There are light shows. I know one of the towns around me has them, and they benefit the local hospital. There are probably, if you're a local, you know where all the cool decorated houses are. So why not, you know, fill up your to-go cup with some hot chocolate and hop in the car and drive around and ooh and ah over them. We did that with my son when he was little, and it's actually something I'm thinking of maybe asking him to do this season. That we haven't done it in years, but I'm thinking we might. We have a nighttime errand coming up in the next week or so, and I'm thinking while we're out, we might hit some of those places that always had the cool lights that he likes. If you're near, you know, if you're near a beach or a little beach town, a lot of times they do stuff. So just, you know, Google holiday events, fire stations. A lot of the fire stations have train gardens this time of year. You know, there's all that cool local stuff you can do too. So go find your Mary, whatever that is, whether it's lights, whether it's train gardens, whether it's Christmas movies and hot chocolate, whether it's warm, cozy pajamas, whatever it is, find it and enjoy it this week. And I will see you next Friday. Same time, same channel. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye. Did Facebook not go? I don't know what happened to Facebook. Okay. This one didn't go either. Alright, I don't know. I'm not sure what happened.